Geographic diversity refers to the vast array of physical landscape, climates, and ecosystems found across the planet. This diversity is crucial for several reasons. First, it supports biodiversity by providing various habitats that allows different plants and animal species to contribute to the ecosystem stability and resilience. Additionally, geographic diversity enriches human culture as distinct regions foster unique traditions, languages, and ways of life, enhancing our collective human experience. Economically, diverse geographical regions offers a range of sources and opportunities, from agritourism driving local economics and innovation. Furthermore, this diverse plays a vital role in climate resilience, enabling ecosystems to adapt to the environmental changes. In essence, geographic diversity is foundational for ecological health, cultural richness, and sustainable economic development. From a conservation perspective, geographic diversity is vital for protecting ecosystems and maintaining genetic diversity within species, which is essential for resilience against diseases and climate change. Challenges such as urbanization and climate change intensify. Understanding and valuing geographic diversity becomes even more critical. It encourages sustainable development practices that respect local environments while promoting economic growth. Ultimately, geographic diversity enriches our planet, providing essential resources, inspiring cultural exchange, and fostering interconnectedness among communities worldwide. The physical landscape encompasses the natural features of the Earth's surface, shaped by the geological processes, climate, and time. Mountains, valleys, plateaus, and plains form the foundation of the physical landscape, fluctuated by the forces like erosion, weathering, and tectonic activity. Bodies including rivers, lakes, oceans, and wetlands play a crucial role in shaping the landscape through processes like sedimentation and coastal erosion. Climate influences the distribution of the vegetations with forests, grasslands, and desert, adapting to the temperature, precipitation, and sunlight patterns. Landforms like canyons, deltas, and glaciers demonstrate the dynamic nature of the physical landscape, constantly evolving over millions of years. The physical landscape also includes geological features like caves, rock formation, and volcanic landscapes, which provides valuable information about their history and internal process. Climate zone refers to regions categorized by their unique temperature, precipitation, and weather patterns. The five main climate zones are tropical, desert, temperate, continental, and polar. Tropical zones near the equator experience high temperature and high humidity year around. Desert zones like Sahara are arid and hot. Temperate zones such as Mediterranean region have a mid-winter and warm summers. Continental zones including the Northern America's interior exhibit a large temperature. Polar zones like Antarctica are icy and cold. Additionally, subzones like alpine, oceanic, and savanna exist. Understanding the climate zone helps predict weather patterns, determine suitable vegetation and agriculture, and inform urban planning and architecture. Human geography is the study of complex relationship between people, places, and environment. Examine how social, economic, cultural, and political processes help the Earth's surface. It explores how humans interact with their surroundings, adapting and transforming landscapes to create meaningful places and the human geographics investigation various themes including population dynamics, urbanization, migration patterns, economic development, cultural identity, language, and globalization. They analyze how these factors influence the distribution of resources, access to the opportunities, and the quality of life across different regions and communities. By understanding human geography, researchers can address pressing issues like environmental degradation, social inequality, and sustainable development. For instance, studying urbanization.
Rural and urban, both living are important at their own place, but each has lots of difference and importance. In India, cities drive the growth of the economy, and India is one of the best ever growing in the world. Global cities report that 17 out of 20 fastest growing cities will be from the world. Indian cities are main contribution to Indian GDP by 2013. All of this finding reflect the ever increasing rate of urbanization. It does not matter if we live in a city or the country, we have the same need for the superiority of our life. It all comes down to what is necessary and what is understood by the individual. The difference between rural and urban living is the way individuals think and question. But the essential roti, kapta, makan are the same, but they can be enjoyed in several ways and different ways of living. Some people needed to prefer simple and sober living and they settle in the villages, while other people prefer luxurious and high end living and they try to find flats. Urban living. Urban areas are densely populated with man-made surroundings, focus on trade, commerce, business, and jobs. High-scale industrialization and better employment opportunity. Access to ample life transformation, entertainment, shopping, education, and healthcare. Rural living. Rural areas have less population density with natural vegetation, focus on agricultural and animal husbandry, traditional and simple lifestyle, limited access to services. Key difference of rural area and urban area are population density, economic activity, lifestyle, access to emphasize, mobility, development. By the built environment, urban areas are more isolated from the nature. The countryside, on the other hand, is directly affected by nature as it is surrounded by natural elements. A majority of urban people work in non agricultural fields such as trade, commerce, or services. Contrary to this, rural peoples are primarily engaged in agricultural and animal husbandry. Living in a city can be hesitate and complex, while rural life is simple and relaxed. Cities and towns are the part of urban settlement. Rural settlement include hamlets and villages. Urban areas have levels of development, whereas rural areas are much slower to urbanize and develop. Urbanization characterizes densely populated area, so large the population. The more urbanization there is, agricultural activities on the other hand has an inverse relationship with the rural population. According to the process of urbanization and industrialization, urban areas are planned and developed systematically. A rural area rarely developed due to the presence of natural vegetation and fauna. People in the urban area are highly mobile, charging their occupations or residence.
Geography and economy are interconnected, with the former playing a significant role in shaping the latter. From the availability of natural resources to the transportation systems, geography affects the economy in numerous ways. In this article, we will explore the relationship between geography and economy and how different geographical factors impact economic development. Geography can impact the economy in various ways, including access to natural resources, location and accessibility, climate and agriculture, topography and tourism, urbanization and infrastructure, and political stability and governance. How geography affects economy of the region. Geography can have a profound effect on the economic development of an area. It affects the availability of resources, transportation networks, and access to markets. It also influences the type of industries that can be developed in a region and how those industries interact with each other. By understanding how geography affects economy, governments and businesses can make better decisions about where to invest their resources and how to develop their economies. The impact of natural resources, backbone of economic development. Natural resources are the foundation of economic development. Countries that are rich in natural resources such as oil, minerals, and timber have a significant advantage in terms of economic growth. The abundance of natural resources are stimulate investment, increase employment opportunities, and led to increased foreign exchange earnings. For instance, the oil rich countries in the Middle East have been able to use their oil resources to build modern infrastructure, invest in education and healthcare, and create jobs for the citizens. Countries with vast mineral resources like South Africa have also been able to build a thriving mining industry that contributes significantly to their GDP. On the other hand, countries with limited natural resources may struggle to generate economic growth. Such countries may have to rely on other sectors like tourism or agriculture to drive their economy. The success of these sectors is also depend on the geography of the region. For example, countries with favorable climate conditions for agriculture have a competitive advantage in the global market. Climate, a determinant of economic activity. Climate is another critical factor that influences economic activity. Extreme weather conditions like hurricanes, droughts, and floods can disrupt economic activities and lead to significant losses. The impact of climate change on the economy has become a pressing issue for policymakers and businesses. For example, the agriculture sector is highly dependent on climate conditions. Regions that experience frequent droughts or floods may experience low crop yields, leading to food shortages and higher food prices. On the other hand, regions with favorable climate conditions for agriculture can produce abundant food supplies and become net exporters of agriculture cultural products.
Geography and the environment. Human geographers examine the relation between humans and the environment in which they live, and physical geographers are concerned with how nature system works. Geographers conduct research to understand the impact of environmental factors on individual and group behavior, to identify the ways in which humans changes the environments in which they live, and to determine the long-term environmental impact of social processes such as population growth and technological development.
Changes in Earth's climate have different effects in different areas of the world. Some places will warm much more than others, some regions will receive more rainfall, while others are exposed to more frequent droughts. Regional changes in temperature and precipitation are having impacts on people and ecosystems. Animals that are not able to tolerate changes in climate and are not able to move into new areas are threatened by extinction. As temperatures continues to warm, global average precipitation will also increase by the end of the century. This increase is not, however, expected to be distributed evenly around the globe or throughout the seasons in a given year. Many parts of the world could experience increases in the frequency and intensity of extreme heavy rain events, and in other parts of the world, dry conditions may become more severe and last longer. Much of the increase in precipitation is expected to occur at high latitudes. Increased snowfall near both poles may offset some of the melting of glaciers and ice sheets in these regions by adding fresh ice to the tops of these features. Some places in Antarctica are even gaining more snow via increased precipitation than they are losing to melting caused by rising temperatures. However, many regions near the equator and at mid latitudes are expected to see decreases in precipitation. In Africa, between 75 and 250 million people are projected to be vulnerable to drought and lack of drinking water. Dry conditions are already making it difficult to grow crops in Africa, which is causing more food scarcity in some areas of Asia. Clean fresh water is projected to become more scarce, and illness caused by unclean water is projected to increase. Some of the increased rainfall is expected to come in the form of more frequent heavy downpours. Some regions may receive a net increase in rainfall, but the increase may manifest itself as heavier rains and punctuated by longer dry spells between these deluges. This change in precipitation patterns is likely to cause a greater incidence of flooding, especially in combination with land use changes such as deforestation.